All right. Hello, everyone. Shalom, everybody. Peace of the Lord to all of you. I hope my voice coming good and clear. Please invite your friends. And I see some people complain saying I'm late. The fact I'm not. Uh, you guys are late, as usual. I said I will go live at 8:30. And now it's 8:38. So who's late? It's you. Just think about it. Anyway, Prophet Muhammad said, the one who come last is the first. Isn't it him who said he is the last prophet, but he is the first? Anyway, I don't want to waste your time, so today we will have a good time, and I hope Muslims will join us. And I have a short clip to share with you. I decided to work as a movie director, and I think I do a good job in it. I mean, I don't know. Seriously. Look like I'm skilled, you know. I don't know if this is look at this. All right, that's enough. So let me just stop media. Let me just source this to running. Okay, now stop. Okay. As you see, I made this video. You know, I decided to work in the movie business, and I think I have a future in that career. And today we are going to discuss any story the Muslim they choose for us. I'm not going to pick up for you a story. Any story, if your choice, you think it's a good story to mention to us about your religion, to convince us that Muhammad is a prophet, we are willing to listen. You know, the Quran is full of mad, crazy stories. And yesterday we have Muhammadan who called me, and he mentioned the word logic many, many times. In fact, each time you speak to Muslim, they speak about logic. And the second you ask them any question about the religion, they say, you're going to try to apply logic to God. So it look like logic work only in one direction for them. So if it's Christianity, it have to be logical. If it's Islam, should not be logical. However, in Christianity, we apply logic, and the logic is simple. When it's come to God, this is the logic. When it's come to God, nothing is impossible with God. This is the perfect logic. Otherwise, why we call him God? If God, he have things that are impossible for him, like can God have a son? The Muslims, they say no. Well, that means he is not God, because God, he can have a son. Who is going to stop him? If I'm a man, he can have son. How God cannot? So the Muhammadan, when they speak about logic, they try to use logic for a long time. As an example, here we have a video in front of us, and this is really Dawah, speaking about how scientific miracle is debunked. But for the last 30 years, almost more than 30 years, the Muslim, they have nothing to speak about except scientific miracles of the Quran. But then when they notice that this is not working and this is a joke and it's a big fat lie, and people now getting more and more educated, and as we see, the number of people making fun of Islam is really increasing in a rabid way. So you know, a few years ago we have a few people to speak about Islam. Now we have more people laughing at it, more people fighting it. Like the number is growing, and this is making me really happy to see. Like I saw some Christians in speaker corners in the last few days in England. I like to see such an invasion to show the Muslims and to put them in their place, that they know nothing, they are nothing, and their religion and their God is nothing. If we have any Muslim who would like to join us, please feel free. We would like to hear you. For me, I am convinced that the Quran is full of scientific miracles.
Video that I did, I mentioned that the scientific miracles in the Quran got debunked. And for some odd reason, funnily enough, like as if they thought that it was a slip of the tongue. I'll repeat it again, very carefully. The scientific miracles argument in the Quran got debunked.
Okay. But you know, the issue here, that if the scientific miracles of the Quran got debunked, that means the Quran is full of scientific error. Do you guys understand what you're saying? Because as long as it is scientific in the Quran, and it's not scientific no more. Correct? Why he's calling it a miracle? The miracle is simply because supposedly how the Quran knew this. Right? As long now it turned to be not scientifical, that means it is an error. So it speaks about science, but it's not scientifical. It's debunked. So by saying what he said, he admit that the Quran is a book of anti-science. It's full of errors. It's stupid. You see, science is not what I go with all the time. As an example, is it scientific like Jesus is son of a virgin? No. It's not. You know, women, they need to have a spouse in order to have a baby. As simple as that. So science here doesn't match with the Bible. But we don't say, we don't fabricate and lie and say stories is not there. This is what the Bible says. We believe in it. And the science don't agree with it. It's not a problem for us. For the Muslims, they try for the last 30 years to fabricate and manipulate the words of their book to make it fit with science, which is absolutely a big fat lie. And now they start collapsing one after one, saying the truth, that, you know what, scientific miracles does not exist. It's a joke. It's a lie. But by saying that, this is what you did to yourself when you applied science to the Quran as a start. Now, when you try to take it back, you cannot, because simply what you are saying, that science in the Quran is not correct. This is what you mean by debunked. He said scientific miracle, debunked. So every claim of science in the Quran debunked to be wrong. Otherwise, how we debunk it without proving it wrong? Right? So by saying this statement, he announced that his book is just a joke. And today, we are welcoming any Muslim. We are in Discord. The link is in the info Rumble in YouTube. You just click on it and you can join us. And if you speak nice and you are a gentleman, we will be nice to you. If you are rude, you want to use bad language, we will throw you out of the window. Do we have any Mohammed that would like to join? Any Mohammed that would like to join us? Galgamish? Okay, we have Galgamish want to join us.
Hello, CP.
Hey, hello, Gilgamesh. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm great. I really like your work that you're doing.
All right.
I'm not a Muslim, but I'm an atheist.
Okay. What does that mean? What atheist mean?
Like, there is no God.
There is no God? How you can prove something is not exist, not to be exist?
Well, I'm actually not sure, so I'm reading the Bible right now.
Oh, okay. Because you know, I went the other day. I have another room, at the office, and I was looking for a ghost, and there's no ghost. So I wanted to prove that there's no ghost in my room by proving that there's no ghost. So a ghost is something we cannot see, and because I cannot see, there's no way I can prove that it's not there. So I said to myself, let me prove to myself that it's not there by saying it's not there. And then I was able to be convinced, and I slept very, very well, because I just said to myself, as long as it's a ghost, we cannot see it. So it is not seen. So what I cannot see, it's not there. But then the radio turned on, and I start hearing things which I cannot see. How people, they can speak to you from a long distance, and you cannot see them?
I don't think that's possible.
No, it's possible. Isn't it the radio wave? Like when somebody call you from China. Somebody call you from China. He is in China. You are in America or in Europe, wherever you are. and then you hear his voice. So do you believe he exists unless you see him? Do you believe his voice is a true or it's a fiction?
Yeah.
Why you believe in that? You did not see him. It's just a voice.
Because he exists.
How you know?
Because I've
Okay, I will make it simple for you. There's many voices we cannot hear. Is that true scientifically?
Yeah.
All right. So if the frequency is not what we can hear, does that mean those voices are not exist?
No.
So, you know, the logic of atheism is wrong, because if you cannot hear it or you cannot see it, it doesn't mean it's not there.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else I can help you with?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, you have you said about that Quran verse about the woman interrupting the prayer, right?
The women interrupting the Muslim prayer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When I told a Muslim about it, he told and I told that women are given the same status as donkeys, and he took the eighth commandment and showed it to me, and he said that women are given the same status in Christianity.
What is the eighth commandment? Eighth commandment?
Do not covet.
What does it have to do with the women? They are not. What don't covet mean?
It says,
Yeah.
you shall not covet your neighbor's house, nor your neighbor's wife, nor his male servant or female servant, or his ox or donkey.
So the verses we are talking about in the Quran is about you. If you touch a woman, your prayer is not accepted. If you touch shit or women, it's not accepted. What does it have to do with the commandment you are talking about? So if I don't fornicate, if I don't go and hijack the wife of my neighbor, that is the same in Islam? What does it have to do with this?
He told me that the position of women are the same in Christianity.
How? Where? If it says don't fornicate, if it says don't fornicate, if it says don't steal, if it says don't witness false, if it says don't go to the house of your friend and go after his wife and his slave or his women or his animals, how this is the same? Muhammad, he do the opposite. Muhammad, he go to his own son house, he flirt with the wife when the husband is not there, and he slept with her, and later he took her supposedly according to Muslim as wife. So how the 10th commandment is disgracing women?
No, like they place women along with servants and oxes.
No, you see, this is everything in the neighbor house, you know. No, you see here, it doesn't say if you are praying, your prayer is not accepted. It says you as a man, you don't wish to take the wife of your neighbor, the money of your neighbor, the property of your neighbor. What does have to do with this? Those are your neighbors. Whatever you have there, they belong to them. So what
the women are not.
No. So what? And the man is there too. The man himself, the owner, the neighbor. So your relative, don't take his wife. Don't have lost to it. So it's calling her his wife, and then don't go after his slaves or his property or his whatever he own. So everything in the house of your neighbor does not belong to you, so you have no right over it. What does have to do with the prayer and the women? She is equal to a dog and a donkey. So now if I say to you, nobody have the right to come to your house and steal from you or kidnap your wife, steal your TV, steal your dog, steal your horse, or steal your car, that mean I made your wife equal to the car and the dog?
No.
Okay, that's what it says. You have no right over your relative house. You know.
But why doesn't that say that about the husband?
What the husband? What says what?
I mean,
Say don't take his. The man is
yeah,
is the leader of the house, and he is the one
yeah,
who owned the house. So the wife is his wife.
uh-huh,
And
yeah.
usually what happened, it is the male who steal the female, not the female steal the male, right?
But these days, eh,
My
yeah,
friend,
yeah,
what
you're
day,
right.
what these days, what that days, you know? I mean, what kind of a man, the man will take him and and grab him and put him in the car. You must be a sissy, you know? So a man is a man unless he is a, you know, he think he's a female. Yeah, these days, always there's people who they are sissy exist in the time of Moses too. However, those are not exist in the eyes of God. We are talking about men, real men. So the good man is the one who don't go and wish the women of his neighbor or his relative or his property or his house or his slave or anything belong to him. So what the verse here is saying, teaching us ethic, not teaching us that women is equal to donkey.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I
And in this,
understand.
in the same time, we have the gospel in the Old Testament. In the Old Testament, it says that the man he leave his parents when he married his wife. He leave his parents and he became with her once echad. So if Christianity or Judaism consider the women equal to a dog, how the man will become echad with the dog or the donkey? What kind of disrespect is? You want to make unity with the dog? So when the Bible says the man he leave his parents and become with his wife, one woman, his wife echad, which means become one, that is showing you that here the woman is treated as an equal partner. A man alone is not making echad. Him and his wife, they make an echad which is united by God. That's why Jesus said that you shall not divorce unless of fornication or something really horrible happen. So Muslim, they can find an excuse, but we laugh at it. And I you know, for me, I'm not trying to put you down, but look like you know, many people like you, they decide not to think, not to use their brain. Read the verse. Does it say anything really that the woman is equal to dog? This house
No.
have a woman, have a closet, have material, have TV, have car, have a dog, have a donkey, have a children's. The Bible says nothing in this house you take. It doesn't belong to you. That's it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'd like to ask you, what is the position of women in Christianity?
I just told you, the man, he leave his parents and he get married with his women, and they will become echad. You see, in the Bible, God himself is called echad. So the Bible is, Jesus himself, he speak about marriage. He said that, and the Bible speak that the man, he should love and he give himself to his women, to his wife, the same as Christ he gave himself to the church. So in Christianity, the church is the women as a symbolic, and the man is a Christ. So the job of the man is not to subdue the women, to beat her, but to be loving, the same as the Messiah, he loved the church, and he gave himself to save her. So we are the church. The Messiah, he gave himself to save us. And this is what the man who is a Christian man should do to his wife. He gave himself to his wife so they will become a unity. And you know, when you think about marriage as unity, then the word wife, the word husband is not even there. Why? Because what is yours is mine, and what is mine is yours. If I am happy, you are happy. If I'm rich, you are rich. If I am poor, you are poor. And that goes for both. It's a unity. In Islam, there is no unity. even the property of the women is separated from the property of the man. Why? Because there is no marriage in Islam. Do you understand?
Yeah, but yeah. And that guy told me that
Why you
women
don't
are the
go? Why you don't
property of men
go?
in
Why you
Christianity.
don't go and bring me the guy instead of saying to me, this guy told me and this guy told me?
Um, he won't come.
Okay, who care? You know, he don't dare. No problem. That's me as a potato. What do you think?
Yeah,
Which one, in your idea as an atheist, which one is better, to be Christian or an atheist or a Muslim?
be Christian.
So why you are staying atheist?
I'm reading the New Testament
Yeah, but still, I'm
slowly.
asking you why you still an atheist? You know, regardless of reading the New Testament or not, what is atheism about? It doesn't give you any value in life. If
I
you,
mean,
the word
I
marriage,
think there is an invisible force, but I still completely don't know the Bible to call myself a Christian.
listen carefully. If you're an atheist, are you married?
No.
Okay. If you're an atheist and you get married, the word marriage mean what in atheism?
When two people love each other,
Where this
they
is
get married.
where this is coming from? Is that atheism thing?
No.
Don't
The
atheists believe?
cultural.
Don't atheists believe we are animals? Since when you will have a wife? What wife for?
Um,
Can an atheist have sex with his daughter?
no,
Why not?
because it causes genetical complications.
So you are worried about genetical? Don't make her pregnant. Use condom. Here we go. We solve the problem. She can take pills. So this is the only
Yeah,
worry you
it
have?
is.
This
It
is the
is not
only worry you
right.
have? Huh? It's not what?
It's not right.
Why it's not right?
I don't know.
Aren't you an atheist?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, atheist, he believes in an animal. She's an animal. You're an animal. Animal do what animal do. So atheists are a bunch of stupid. They lie to themselves. They claim that they are not religious and they don't take anything from Christianity. But in fact, the second they want to do something right, they have to go to Christianity. Otherwise, they are doomed. Because either you are an animal, as you claim, and you do what animals do, then the word mother is not exist in your dictionary. The word father is not exist. The word daughter, the word son, the word wife, and all those things that exist. If you use them, you are not an atheist. Especially if those words define relationship between those people. So if you say, I cannot have sex with my daughter, well, according to who? Darwin?
I don't know.
All right. All right, my friend.
Uh,
Thank you for
wait,
joining
wait,
us.
wait, wait.
What?
There's one more thing.
Uh-huh.
Um, I live in Canada, but I wanna let you know about something. So I went to I went to a church, and one of the members said that they are sponsoring people coming in boats and giving them up to 8 months of money and sponsorship. And they also said that most of them are Muslims.
Well, those are dummy people. What we can say? Yeah, I believe you. There's a lot of dummy,
Like,
stupid. They call themselves Christians, but in fact they are very, very stupid people. Yeah.
I heard the Church of England doing this, but this is the
Well,
first
still
time
there is a lot
I
of
heard
stupid.
about Canada.
Yes, soon the same ones they are bringing them. They will burn their churches. The same what they did to the biggest church in France. The one who burned it is a Muslim. The biggest church in France, yeah, was burned by a Muslim. So those are the bunch of dummies, and they will pay the price. You see, I will be happy to see those people being punished. I believe Islam is a curse on sinners. Islam is a demon. Islam is Satan. And when people they go away from their sins and the logic with God, they are not Christian no more, and then they will be punished. And that will happen to any country in the world. Doesn't matter if it's Europe, America, it doesn't matter. When people, they lose their sense, they will be punished severely. And there's many ways God, he can punish them. They will be punished. So now they are helping them. Soon they will be homeless themselves. And those migrants, they will take over their country. And they will be kicked out. And they will take a boat somewhere asking for refuge. Anyway, good for them. I'm not going to cry.
And when I told them that, they asked me, they called me a racist and asked me to forgive my enemies.
Yeah, so they are saying that we help the enemy to come to our land and take it over it. That is a stupid thing to say. So love your enemy. When Jesus says like love your enemy, is not by giving them hugs and kisses, but by rebuking them, by showing them the truth, not by giving them the power over our country, our land, so they can close our churches and subdue us and occupy us. That is stupid. You know, Jesus never said that. So those people, they are just dummy. Those are not Christians. Those are Antichrist.
They said we shouldn't physically attack them and stuff. We shouldn't join police, and
we should.
I don't know.
We should not attack who?
The people, even if they attack us.
Well, those are stupid people, my friend. If somebody attack me, I will make him shish kebab. Peter himself, he have a sword. Jesus himself, he said, the one who don't have a sword, go and buy one. The Old Testament, the Lord of the Old Testament is the same as the Lord of the New Testament. And those are funny, stupid people. They have nothing to do with the Bible. Stay away from them.
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused about that part.
I just told you the answer. Anything else?
Yeah, nothing much.
All right.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time. Have a good day.
Anyone he claimed that he is a Christian and he claimed that he is against violence, he is a hypocrite, because violence it is one of the method to stop violence. If somebody come in and he have a gun in his hand shooting innocent people, what do? You tell him, can we talk? Let me explain to you. Right? So there is people who they try to make Jesus sound like a hippie, like he's the guru, you know, like, shall we kill an ant? So the guru now, he have a bird is dying, and now the bird is not eating anything unless we give him a worm. Shall we kill with a worm to save the bird, or let the bird die and let the worm live? So, you know, those are not Christians. Those are dummy, stupid people. They have no idea what the Bible teach. And for me, I consider them kind of a hippie. You know, they are false people. They are criminal themselves. They do abortion, and they support it, many of them. They kill animals, but they are against blood. I mean, why you eat chicken? Isn't the chicken, if you are against violence at all, well, don't be violent, then be a Hindu. Don't eat a chicken, don't kill birds, don't step on an ant, you know, just eat falafel. So, you know, those people are lost, and they are very confused, and they don't present Christianity in any way in me. Okay, Amber?
Hi, okay, so a bit of backstory. I come from an atheist family that my family moved to France because of secular law. They hate religion so much. So my first understanding of religion is Islam, and I'm just trying to... I was a Muslim for like 2 days, and then I had a friend who explained all of my questions, but I still have more questions. And I guess I just don't understand, what is God? Like, that's my biggest question, is I can't understand that.
So Amber, you are now an atheist, or now you are a Muslim?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I am.
Okay. So I don't know where to start then. Do you want us to start with you being a Muslim, or with you who don't know?
So I was an atheist because of my parents, but I just kept having problems with my, like, I just kept feeling wrong. Like everything felt wrong. What they were doing felt wrong. I couldn't explain it. So I rejected my parents and I searched religion, and then I found Islam first. And then the people were super nice. They explained things to me, like God, morality. It all made sense. Everything made sense to
Like
me.
what? Like what makes sense? Give me an example.
Why we shouldn't have marriage, why we shouldn't have sex outside of marriage. Like they explained.
But Muslim, they have sex out of marriage. In fact, Muslim, they never have marriage. You see, marriage is when a man and a woman, they fall in love and they make a family. Is that correct?
See, my friend told me that, and that's starting to make sense, but it's just so confusing. I don't know who's right.
Hold on. If Muslims have marriage, you don't marry 2, 3, 4, keep replacing them, divorcing them. That is obviously not marriage. That is as sexual activities. Do I agree?
Okay, so what is marriage?
Marriage, what is the word marriage in English mean?
I don't know. It's just like a government contract to me to
No. You see, English is not my first language. You merge together. You merge. So we marry. We got married. So now we merge together, and the Bible define it as being one. So I was just speaking to the one before you. When the man he marry a woman, they become ikhad, which means they become one person, not two. So yet they are two as two person, yes, but now they are unity. So in Christianity, marriage is a unification of two people by love of God to be together. Not for the sake of, part of the marriage is the man is attracted to the woman. She is a female, and the female, she like the man because he's a man. So we are not denying the sexual part of it. It is a major part of it. However, it's not to sponsor lust, but to sponsor family based on love and unity. So the man is willing to give himself to the wife, and the wife willing to give herself to the husband. When we say giving yourself, it's not about sleeping in the bed. It's about you stay with him. You promise him to be loyal. He promised you to be loyal for the rest of his life. Defend you with his life. Sacrifice himself to make you happy. And it's the same for you. So marriage in Christianity is a promise of loyalty under the blessing of God, that I will be for you and you will be for me.
That's beautiful. My understanding of marriage from my family was always that two people just wanted to live together and they got better benefits for it. If they liked each other and they wanted to have sex,
marriage should not be based on a benefit, because if you do that, the day the benefit is gone, the marriage is gone. As an example, if I marry you because you are rich, this is a benefit. Tomorrow you lose your money, I divorce you. So the one who marry based on a benefit, he did not marry the person, he married the benefit. You understand me?
But how do we know if people love each other? How do we know if we want
love is not something, no one can teach you what is love. It is something you need to know, and you have to be mature, because there is many people, if a guy is funny, is a guy, etc., they think they are in love. But the fact, no, they are just maybe he's unique, maybe there's something different about him. But love is something different. Love is a person you cannot forget. It's a person you forgive even if he hurt you. It's a person you are going to love him no matter what, even if he is not even good to you. Love is way more than just a relationship. Actually, love is not even a relationship. Love is a state of you being in love, regardless of the other person will love you or not. As an example, a woman, she have a child, she have a son, she have a daughter. She love her child, but there's many children, they don't even say hello to their mother. But still the mother, she love the child. Why? Because she love him for her love is real, not because it's a benefit. So even though there's no benefit from this child, even though he may be causing her problem, he making her sad, Maybe he's even destroying her life. Maybe she worked day and night just to make him happy, and he is spoiled, he don't care, he make fun of her, he call her name, still she love him. Why? Because her love is coming from her heart, not from a benefit. So love is not a crush on a person. Love is something unique, does not change, and doesn't fold, which means the Bible says love never fail. Love never fail. What does that mean? What if I love a woman and she don't want to love me? How that is not a fail? No, I did not fail because my love never fail. The state of love will make you live a beautiful life, regardless if people love you back or not. When you are a person in love, you are a successful person, regardless if you are loving a man or loving God or loving trees or loving anything around you. Love never fail, which means love will make you a very stable person, happy person, because you don't feel even rejected because you are in love. You know, it's like my mom, she think I'm handsome. The neighbors, she think I scared the hell of her. Why? Because my mom, she loved me. So she see her son, even though he looked like a monkey, she see him the most handsome boy in the town. That is love. So because she loved me very much, she don't see the negative things about me. She see beautiful things about me. But there's no way I have a beautiful things about me. That's impossible. So love is when you see even what is supposed to be ugly for someone else, it is beautiful for you.
So is that from God?
Love for there's many things about love. As an example, if your love is about sex, that is just the desire. That's not love. As we said, love should not be based on a benefit, or because sexual desire is a benefit, is a desire. So if your love is always stable, is not temporarily, that is from God.
So how do you know? Like, how do you
I just told you, if you don't, if like you see, the weather change. It's cold, it's hot, it's warm. Love never change. So if you love a person, let us say, you met a person, even a girl, friend of yours, you love her, you love her as a friend. So you met her once when you were a teenage. Oh, you miss to see her again. Why? Because really you love her. This love is a clean love. Have no benefit from there. It's just because you felt something special about this girl, and she is a good friend for you. So she stayed, her name stayed in your heart, and no matter what, the distance between you, the time different, how many years away, still you remember her, and nothing changed. So if you meet her today, you are going to run to see her the same as you saw her 20 years ago. So love is not something changed. Lost, it does. So a man, he want to sleep with the women. She is beautiful. She is desirable. But as soon he sleep with her, first time, second time, third time, fifth time, 10th time, he's get bored. He want to find a new woman. This never was love. It was only about him. He loved himself. This is a selfish person. So love is about not loving yourself, is loving others, and you love to make others happy. And the way I see love, that if I can make someone happy, that means I am in love with that person. Because I worked to make that person, I give an effort to make that person happy, even though there's no benefit for me. I'm not the one getting happy. It is her or him. So I am in love with this person because I love to help. And that is love coming from God. So if you love people only because they will give you something back, then this is not love. This is just a benefit in return.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, anything have return, is based on return. Like it can be true love and there is return, no problem. But if your love based on return, then your love never was love. Because the second the benefit or the return stop coming, you are not in love no more, and you don't want this person. Even you might turn to be an enemy. So like you try to speak to a man, he don't want to talk to you. You start calling him names, you start getting angry, you start going crazy. Why? because you were not in love with the person, you were in love with yourself, and you wanted to have him, and he said no. So now you are going to seek maybe revenge. This is a person who love himself, worship himself. He do not know what love is. So love, the way we see it as a Christian, is the same as the Lord, the Messiah. He sacrificed himself, even though there's no return. He got nothing from it. There's no reward for him. He come to this earth to save us, and people crucified him, people spit at him, people call him names, people make fun of him, people say the F word to him. So what he got from this? Nothing. But he got a lot. Why? Because he loves us. The Bible says, a happiness will be in the kingdom of God, for one soul is being saved. So this is God, this is the love of God. We are nothing, we are not even ants for him. But if one soul is saved, there is a happiness in the kingdom of God. The kingdom of God is in firework, like blessed and amazing happiness. The angels are praising for one person is saved. So this is what love is. Love is about you. Don't see yourself in the mirror. You see the happiness of people you care for. So if you look at the face of a person, let us say you help a homeless, a person who is angry, a child, anything, and then you were able to make this person, his life better, and you feel inside you are so happy. That is love. So your love make you happy, but your love was not for your benefit. It was for the benefit of that person. But because you are really in love, seeing the result of your act is positive, you are now very much satisfied with your love. So love is not a person who is selfish, a person who think about himself. Love is a person who think about others before himself. So in order to know if you are in love or not, think about it this way. Do you think about the person in front of you, how to make him or her happy? Or you think when you do something with someone is how he make you happy? If the purpose of your act is how he can make you happy or how she can make you happy, that's mean you don't love anybody, you love just yourself. If you do an action, anything in life, just to make people who you see, who you know, happy, that means really you love them and you don't care for the result coming back to you.
Okay, so what do you do when you feel like you don't deserve that? Like, I was talking to, like, I was in a Muslim server, and they were talking about how men have, like, it's okay for them to have multiple wives and such, and I was like, but why is one not enough? Like, I've always learned that one woman, one man, and, like, why do you have to have multiple? Like, why am I not enough?
You know, I was just talking to an atheist before you. I don't know if you heard me. A person who decides to have many wives, he decides to be an animal. So we can be an animal, and we can act like one, and we can live like one, and we can die like one. But a person who acts like an animal, he cannot claim to be a human being. God, when he created Adam and Eve, he created Adam and Eve, not Eves. All right? So a man, if he is in love, he will not look to a different woman. Same for the women. The woman, she is in love with the husband, her man, she will never look at any other man. There's many women I know, like especially in the Middle East, the husband he died, Christian women, the husband he died, they are not even 30. They never get married after that. But many men, they ask for their hand after they become widows. So they don't get married because they are in love with the husband who died. So loyalty is the scale of love. And a man who marry more than one woman, he did not marry them. He is fornicating with them. He have no loyalty. If he is loyal, he is in love. If he is not loyal, he is not in love. And same goes for you.
Sorry.
Yeah. Somebody saying, was Solomon an animal? Yes, he was. And the Bible condemned him for his action. Even God, he killed, God, he caused his family to be destroyed as a result of his lust. So yes, he was. You are ignorant. The Bible condemned his action. God even reject him building temples. So you can be a king and you can go after your lust, but doesn't make you godly. It doesn't matter who you are. Your name is David, your name is Solomon, your name is, it doesn't matter. Loyalty is God. God is loyal. And people who belong to God, they must be loyal. You can go after your lust and decide to become a donkey who follow his private part, not his heart, and not what he should be. A true man, he should not be going after many women. People, they grow in a very funny, silly, stupid culture that the one who sleeps with more women, he is the successful person. Well, I say to you that the man who sleeps with more women, he is absolutely not successful, because by time he will notice that he can't even love any women no more. Because love doesn't make any sense for him. It's about sex. Same for the women. The more you sleep with men, the more, who is the man you like, we are having sex with this guy now, but yesterday was different guy. How many images in your head of sex practice with men? Which one of them is your man? And how many of them coming tomorrow? So when you go after your lust, you are lost. You see, there's birds, they are animals. When the spouse die, the bird, he don't go to any females. In fact, many of them, they even stop eating until they die. And they are birds.
So God is love, and love is loyalty. So if there's 8 billion people on the planet right now, and there's billions of people that have already died, how is it possible for him to love everybody at the same time? I can't.
Death is a form of love, because I am thankful from my Lord that I will not live forever. Because imagine I am now 100 years old or 120, my teeth is gone, I cannot go to the bathroom, I cannot say 2 words, I lost my memory, and I am alive. Why I want to live? What the life for? So death is not a bad thing. Death is a mercy. Death is love. Because when you grow old, too old, your family will have a trouble on you. They have to wash you, they have to take you to the bathroom, you are sick, doctors, medicine, etc. So you become a burden in your family, the one you love them. So now it is better, it's from God wisdom, for us, because we are not going to live eternity for now. It's from God wisdom is not to live more than we should.
So does he love us even when we're not on earth?
He love us when we are not? What?
I'm trying to understand how God can love billions of people at the same time and give them all the attention they need at the same time. How is that possible?
I wanna give you an example. Do you know the bees?
The bees?
Bees, yeah.
Like the insects?
The insect, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
All right. The bees, how many mothers they have in the colony?
One.
Everybody is just under the command of one female. Is that correct?
Yeah, she controls the hive.
And all they are working in extreme harmony. Is that correct?
Correct.
The major reason for them to be successful is loyalty.
Wow.
If they are not loyal, they will be killing each other. Right? But they don't. The whole colony have only one mother. And the whole colony work for one purpose, to keep the family surviving. So we call her the queen. That's what we call her. But in fact, she is the mother of the babies. And all the babies are in love with their mother, and they do everything for her. So she is inside. She is protected. The whole colony will die to defend the mother. What is this is based on? These are insect. If insect can do that, can God do more?
You would think. You would hope. Oh, okay. I think I'm starting to get it.
Sorry?
I don't think I'll ever be able to grasp it. It's beyond my grasp.
No, I think it's very simple. This is why I gave you the example of the bees, because we cannot make it more simple than this. So it doesn't matter what the number is. The number is big for you. The number is small for God. That is not even a number. You know, God don't see us a number. God, he see us by our names. The Lord, he said, from their fruits you shall know them. So number doesn't mean anything. Loyalty, quality, and fruits. All those bees, they share one thing. They give and they make honey. And they are very well organized. And their house is done by a perfect engineer. In fact, bees are better than us. Because simply, yeah, the whole family are in love. You will find a human being in the same family, they hate each other.
Because humans are always fighting each other.
Yeah, why? Because a human being is different from insect. He's given a free will. And because you have a free will can make you do good things with your will and can do bad things with your will. And this is the point of reward. So people who believe in a free will and do good will, they will be with the Lord. And those who they are using their free will to do bad act, they will be punished and they will be doomed.
Okay. Sorry, I wasn't expecting to get this emotional.
So what do you think about Islam now? You know, Islam for me is something very disgusting and evil. Like, do you know that Islam teach that the man, he can beat his wife?
I was in a server in a voice call earlier with them, and they were talking about how this 25-year-old was like, his max age of consent was 16. I was so weirded out. Like they were joking about how many wives they could have. I just felt so uncomfortable the entire voice call. And then somebody that like I met today invited me to like join a Christian server call, and it just felt safe. Like they're not joking about women. It's nice.
All right. Well, here, you know, we have always good time, and we can we joke, we laugh, but always here we share the truth. Sometimes I make fun of myself. Joke is not a bad thing, but Islam is obviously a very bad thing. There is no person he respect himself. A man who respect himself, he will not beat a woman. You know, beating a woman is a clear sign that the man himself is not self-confident. And when I claim to be a prophet of God, and I claim that my God told me that the way to correct women, and here I use the word correct between two brackets, is beating them, that is a clear proof that the one who come with this is nothing but a savage man. He have a low IQ, and he is stupid. And I will explain to you why. Because if I have a wife, let us say she is really stupid. And I want to use the word stupid as it is. Let us say she is the stupidity itself. So if I beat her, how I can make a stupid person do the right thing? It's impossible. Because she is stupid anyway. So she will do the same bad thing again. She's stupid. So beating the person will not make him smart. You can make a person smarter by trying step by step to explain, to train, to show why it's wrong, you know. And because now this person will listen to you more, you are being kind, you are being nice, you are not insulting, you are not, you know. So she will listen, she will learn, she will try her best to do better. But if I beat her, how that can help her and how that can help me? She will hate me. She might even put poison for me in my food. So the word is stupid. I see it this way, that the man who beat his wife, he is the stupid one. Even, yeah, go ahead.
They made that make sense because I come from a family that my father wasn't. He wasn't a kind man before my mother died, so it was normal for me. So when I learned about Islam and I was learning about like discipline of wives, it started to make sense. Like maybe he was doing like good, like what he was supposed to with discipline. Because they were talking about when she disrespects you once, you correct her, and then the second time you leave the bed. And then the third time you leave, like socially, like you ignore her, you give her the silent treatment, which was
That's a lie. You know, all what they said to you, it's a lie. There's no first time, there's no second time. You see what you see now on the screen? I'm showing my screen. I don't know if you see it. This is a lie. In the Quran, there's no first time, there's no second time, there's no third time, and there's no beat him lightly, and there's no leaving the bed. It says jail them in their room, jail them, not leave the bed. اهجروهن في المضاجع. Muslims, they lie. Like now, you see here it says lightly. You see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Where in the Quran, in Arabic, it says lightly? I challenge all the Muslims in the world to come and show me where it says lightly. It's not there. In fact, the story says it clearly that a man, he beat his wife until he made her skin greener than her clothing. And Muhammad took the side of the man, not the women. Muhammad did not say, why you did beat her like that. He did not say, look, you made the bruises for her. Muhammad, he said, don't beat your wife the same as you beat the slaves until they die, by breaking their bones. So Muhammad, he acknowledged beating women. He is the one who told them beat them. And as you see here, it says, Aisha, she said, a lady, she came to her. She was wearing a green veil, and she complained to Aisha about her husband and showed her a green spot in her skin caused by beating. And here the Muslims, they are trying to justify why Aisha, she is defending the women, which Aisha now is wrong, should not defend the women. You know, it was the habit of ladies to support each other. So when Allah Messenger came, Aisha, she said, I have not seen any suffering as much as a believing woman. Look, her skin is greener than her clothes. And you read the whole story. Muhammad, he took the side of the man, and he never mentioned why you did beat her. So when they say lightly and those lies and first and second, it's a big fat lie.
That's scary.
Well, if you like your husband to beat you, well, you can be a Muslim and you enjoy it.
Preferably not. No. I'd rather not.
Don't you like to have a green skin? It's for it's for free. It's for free.
No, apparently my father has to pay for it, so it's not.
All right. So, so did you decide to leave Islam?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Do you have any question for me I can help you with?
Not currently.
All right. Which country are you from?
Oh, originally my mother is English, my father is Scottish. We were in California, then we moved to France because they hated religion. But then we moved back to England, so England.
All right.
I have a long history of my family telling me that religion is bull and God's not kind and God's not good and God's a lie and believe in evolution, and if you ever become a Christian, then we disown you. So it's a bit stressful.
Well, you know, tell your parents the result of their teaching is showing very well in Europe, where drugs abuse is everywhere, crimes and rape and theft, because people now they have zero moral. Everybody live as he wish because now they believe they are atheists. one of the benefit of believing in God, that society behave. There is no sin. If we believe that theft is not a sin, rape is not a sin, so people would do whatever they want. So what your parents did is the same crime many people around the world who they are atheists did to against themselves. You go right now, like now in America, many state they start adding the Bible back to their study. Why? Because they notice that their children are doomed. Kids, they are teenage shooting each other. The kids are taking drugs. Kids, they are 12 years old having sex. So the society is messed up when the atheists decide to fight God and to fight the teaching of God. So the first one who pay the price is the people who believe in this garbage.
I think the biggest thing was I just felt empty, like constantly, like my depression was so bad, and
I agree with you, but this is what empty do. Empty make you do drugs, empty make you do crazy stuff because you're empty. This is why you see a lot of Western, like one of the things I notice about Western, he go to Thailand, the first day he go there, he want to put a tattoo. Okay, a week after, he want to add another tattoo. He go to different country, he go to etc. He want to have a more tattoo. Tattoo, earring in the ear, earring in the nose, earring in the tongue, earring in the lips, earring in the vagina, earring in the penis. I mean, they have earring everywhere. I don't know how they can go through the airport. All of this because all of this because they are empty, totally empty. Their life is lost. They don't know what to do. So he think he's bored. He don't know what to do. He think if he puts that tattoo in his leg, he will look now better. Oh, look, this is cool. And then after he put it and is used to it, he need more new tattoo. It's like, someone he paint himself over and over and over because he is not satisfied with who he is, which means he is very sad person. With the Christ, we don't go that direction. For as I said to you, I believe that I am loyal to my Lord, and my Lord is loyal to me too. He will never betray me. He's kept his promise. So I do not need those stupid things to prove who I am. I prove who I am by doing things that's good. Things can help people around me. Things can be useful, not by putting a stupid tattoo on my feet or my leg or my butt or putting a ring in my tongue. I mean, I don't know even how they can eat. People look funny and weird and stupid. But this is all, I believe, it is a sign that Satan is taking over those people. So I say to you, accept Christ so you can be stable within yourself first. You can be loyal to yourself first, because listen carefully, a person who is not loyal to his Lord is not loyal to himself too. Why? Because he's lost. He doesn't know what is the right thing to do. He have no loyalty. Even when you think about yourself, you are not being loyal, because simply you are just following temporary desire. And that is the trap. Desire is a trap. If I do things for the purpose of desire, I fail, because this desire is temporary. As soon I get my desire fulfilled, I notice then that I am in the quicksand. It's like somebody, when I grab something, he is so desperate to have it, but he jumped to get it. But then after he hold it with his hand, he noticed he just jumped in the quicksand. So with believe in the Lord, believe in the truth, you are going to be stable. You will not be confused. You will not have a vacancy inside you. Your soul will be comfortable. You have a trust. You don't feel alone. You will never be lonely, even though you are alone. But still you are not. You are alone as a person, but if you are a believer, you will never be alone. For the Lord, he will be all the time with you. The Bible says, if the Lord is with me, who could be against me?
Yeah, for me it was alcohol. It was that empty that I just, alcohol just made it feel better and I could ignore it, and then it would take more and more and more. Like my tolerance kept going up and up and up because it was legal. I was a teenager and it was legal. So I didn't really understand what I was doing. So I'm still, I'm still very much an alcoholic, but learning about religion has made me kind of like motivated to stop because maybe there's something else that I don't need alcohol for. Like maybe that's the replacement. Maybe that's the thing I've been missing.
Well, you see, you are thinking about things in the wrong way. We are not looking for a replacement. This is not should not be a replacement. We are not saying I'm going to believe in God to replace my alcohol. Well, God is not an alcohol. God is not going to make me drunk. God will make me awake. So I'm not going to replace God by alcohol by God. I am going to go to what is right. This is not about replacement. And alcohol, again, is just because you feel you are lost and you are, and it's a sign of being spoiled too. You know, a child who's spoiled. I mean, your family, your parents, they claim that they are good people, but yet you are a teenage and you are drinking and they don't say nothing about it. I don't want to be insulting, but your parents are idiots, both of them. You know,
Urged it.
if you are
You're
my
like,
if you are my daughter, you will never see the alcohol in your room. You will never even touch it. You know, yeah, you will never. But if you have parents who don't care really, they are hippies and they are stupid, then you will end where you end. So I advise you not to think about this thing that, okay, I'm going to look for religion. Christianity is not a religion. We are not. Christianity is the truth, and the truth is not a religion. Truth that God is the only one who loves you, the only one who can save you, and because of the love of God, you can be in love with men who love you. And because of the love of God, he can be in love with you too. But he have to be a godly man too. If you go and find a man who is just a lost person, atheist in the street, he will never love you. He is the same as your parents. He is looking for a partnership. Journey for them is journey in the train. So I don't want to go alone. I find a female. Oh, she is cute. I like her. She like me. Let us join bed together. Oh, we have a baby. We call her whatever. And now we have Amber. Hey, Amber, go drink alcohol. Me and your parents, we are going vacation. You are a teenage now. Go have sex with your friends. This is not parents and this is not family. Those are people living like animals, and they will end like animals. So for us, I'm using a harsh language with you because I'm just being honest with you. So for us as a Christians, we don't believe in religion. We will never follow a religion. We are following the Messiah. He is the truth. He is a savior. So if you are looking to be saved and not to be empty and not to feel alone and not to feel you are left alone, then the Messiah is the only one who can save you.
so what's the difference between what you just said and religion? I thought they were the same.
No. Religion is an idea. It can be false. It can be some have a truth in it. But Christianity is not an idea. Christ is not an idea. Christ is a real person. And because he's a real person, so what he is not a religion. By definition, religion is a group of people believe in something. This is true. But in Christianity, it's not just a group of people who believe in something. It's just a group of people who live something. And that is the love of God, who they are loyal to him, and they do their best to be close to him. That's why the Lord, he says, be holy like your Father. Be holy like your Father, which is kind of an impossible mission, but because the Messiah, he wanted us to be the best we can, he asked us to do the impossible. For nothing is impossible with God. So if we have faith, we can reach the point of impossible. So this is why I say to you, if you believe in Christ, even though you might think you are weak, I will tell you myself, when I start speaking about Islam, my English is funny. It's not even, I cannot even claim until now I speak good English. People laugh at me because I make mistakes when I speak. Yet, all of those things did not stop me from accomplishing my mission. So I am now an author. I have many books in many languages. My books translated to all languages in the world: Chinese, Russian, Bulgarian, Albanian, Indonesian, Chinese, you name it. So from a person who hardly can speak little bit of English to explain what he's trying to say, to a person who wrote books and people around the world listen to him. Where is my confidence coming from? If I don't have faith, I cannot accomplish anything. That's why I say to you, we don't have a religion, we have a Christ. So I believe in Christ, I believe in my mission, I believe that if the Lord is with me, who could be against me? No language is going to be an obstacle in front of me. People making fun of me making mistakes, who care? I know that I'm making mistakes. That even blessing for me. Why? Because the one who don't make mistakes, he do not know what is right. So I learn from my mistakes to be a better person. But there's people, they enjoy making mistakes, and they live mistakes, and they live mistakes, and they claim it's right. They claim it's true. So with the Christ, you will be able to overcome your mistakes, your weakness, you will be confident, and you will be successful. And this is the difference between somebody have religion, which is just rituals like Muslims do, pray 5 times a day. I mean, what is that? If God is true, you know, you can pray to him anytime in your heart. You do not need to go in a certain time. Even Jesus says, if you want to pray, you go to your closet. Don't pray like the hypocrite who go in the corner so everybody can see them.
It was always like, that was the other thing, is they were talking about, you to be a Muslim, you have to pray 5 times a day. Like, well, if God is God and God is God, why do I only have to pray 5 times? Why does it have to be a certain type? Why can't I just talk to him?
And you have to pray in a certain language too, which is not yours. That make it more stupid. It's like a chimpanzee trying to be a parrot, you know? That's even more funny.
I never understood that. It just felt like a chore, and I feel like praying shouldn't feel like a chore to learn another language, to pray 5 times a day. When I could just like yell at the sky, like, "Hey, are you there? Like, can you help me with this?" If God is God and God is God, God should understand that. Like, he doesn't need Arabic to understand me.
You know, what if somebody is a mute? He cannot pray? So God, you know, when we say
God does things. What can God do if God is God? That makes no sense. Like, if God is God and God can do everything and God is omnipresent, omnipotent, then God can do whatever God wants to do.
You see, Islam is just like a chain of stupid stories, and that's why Muslims, they don't even dare to debate us. I invite you here always to stay and join us, and if you know of Muslims, invite them here, and you will see how Muslims, they don't make no sense when they try. I would like you to see how stupid Islam is firsthand. So we hope soon we will have a Muslim to join us, and you will see right away that Muslim, they are big mouth. They shout, they are loud, but they are like a drum. One needle will make the drum go boof, you know? This is how I see Muslims. They are like a drum. Too much noise, but they are empty.
They're all ritual.
Yeah, it's not even ritual. It's just a stupid ritual. What ritual? You see, like Muhammad, he did rituals. What he do? Muhammad, he jumped with water, have dead dogs. To do what? To do rituals. How in the world that is a ritual? Dead dogs, women blood from period, and garbage, stinky garbage. All of this because Muhammad, now he want to prepare himself to pray to Allah. How in the world a person, it's obviously that Muhammad is mentally ill person, suffering from mental illness. Imagine now, I'm going to meet God, you know? Let us make it simple, not God. So let us say I'm going to meet a woman. I like her. I'm thinking to marry her. So I decide to become a clean. So what I do, I jump in the water, have dead dogs, and women blood from period, and stinky garbage, and I do shampoo with it, and I'm singing now, la 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 la, I'm going to meet the girl, la 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 la, and now after half hour of washing myself with such a beautiful mix of shampoo, I go and meet her. So this is the guy who wanna go and meet his God after taking shower with dead dogs and women of blood from period and stinky garbage.
What?
Yeah, it's in front of you. Don't see it on the screen?
Honestly, I just can't comprehend yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So this is the guy. He was your prophet for 2 days.
2 days, yeah. I lasted.
I advise you to try it. By the way, you can find some dead dogs somewhere, and you can get menstruation. I mean, you are a woman already, and you can get some garbage from your neighbors or your mom or whatever in the kitchen. Be sure they are stinky, you know, like they leave them there for a few days, and then mix them in your bathtub and sit down, take a shower. Okay, enjoy it. I'm sure you will be a very holy person.
I think I'll pass.
Well,
If
I
that's
advise
your.
you to do it. I heard Muslims saying this is very healthy.
It doesn't sound very healthy.
Well, I will explain to you why it's healthy. Okay, first of all, let us focus in dead dogs. Dead dogs, yeah, dead dogs. The nice things about dead dogs, the benefit number one, they are dead. They don't bite you. Ma, see. Number two, you can use their teeth to brush your back. Number three, you can use their hand. They have nails. You can use it to brush your and their feet to take the dead skin. Now, you can use the tail, which is the tail of the dead dog, to push away the mosquitoes or any fly because the smell is so bad. Now the water is so dirty. So now you can use it as a as a fan. See, this is just from the dead dog. So what about the other things like the women period? Imagine you are just swimming in a jacuzzi and the water is going crazy around you and the smell of a blood of women menstruation all over. Oof, that's amazing. And the dogs smell too. The dead dogs. I mean, dead dogs, by the way, when they die, phew, they smell so good. All right. So like, I experienced that myself. It smells so beautiful, especially when the worms, they come from his belly and they are by like thousands and they are eating his flesh. Unbelievable. The view is so beautiful and so delicious. It makes you feel hungry, actually. You want to eat with them. So all of this, and then in the top of that, you have a stinky garbage. And the stinky garbage alone can be a mix of many, many, many beautiful things. As an example, you know, barbecue, bones, rotten tomato, rotten eggs, the poop of the cat. It's a lot of fertilizer. If you study science, you will know that all those things will make your skin shiny and you will become so beautiful.
I prefer to be ugly at that point.
I explain my case. It's your fault. Guys, be my witness. I try to tell her the benefit of such a deal. People don't want to listen. Yeah, what I can do? I mean, you cannot explain to people more than this. I did my best.
Just can't understand it. So ignorant.
Yeah.
I can't understand it.
If there is any Muslim want to come in here and tell this lady here why your prophet taking a shower like that,
please do.
Yeah, so she can go back to Islam. Anyone want to do it?
I need answers.
Well, the answer, I can make a commercial about this if you have money. That will make, like, I will make a shampoo. And then, like a woman, she go in the bathtub. And there is dead dog in the bathtub. And the worms are coming out of his belly. And then she open the water in the top of him. And then she go and she grab some menstruation rags and she throw it in the water. And then she go to the kitchen and bring big bag of trash and garbage, stinky garbage, and she empty it in the bath. And then she take off her clothes. For sure, with a towel on her because we are very conservative Muslims. And then she jump in the water. And now she breathe and she says, the smell, subhanallah, so beautiful. Prophet Muhammad used to do that, so I'm doing so. I will sell a lot of shampoo like that in one day.
No, thank you. I'll pass.
Yeah. But until now, can you tell us one thing they made you really believe in Islam for a second? I'm trying to understand why in the world anyone want to believe in the garbage of Muhammad for a second.
They told me that I had no understanding. So I came from a completely atheist background. I didn't know what God was. I had the name. I had the name of the Bible. Didn't know what it was. I didn't even know what Genesis was about. Like, I knew nothing about God. And I joined
How old are you, Amber, if you don't mind to say?
I'm 22.
You're very old.
Yeah, so like this is like all new to me. So my entire life is like God's bad, God's bad, God's bad, ignore God, don't do God. God's bad, ignore it. So when I go into alcoholism in my teenage years and like nothing was fulfilling me, like I am like deep into alcoholism because of that. So I was like, okay, so maybe my parents were wrong about this religion thing. So I searched up religions and I searched up monotheism, and like Islam was something that came up. I'm like, okay, Islam. So that it's a
Yeah, but
religion. Maybe
what monotheism mean? You know, monotheism is just an idea. There's a temple in San Francisco. They worship Satan. Well, this is monotheism. So if somebody believe in one God, it doesn't make any difference if I believe in one God or 10 God. The question is, are they true gods or not? One God, two God, three God, five God, seven God. What is this? You know, are we going after how many chicken is in the queue? So the idea of monotheism does not give a value for any faith. It is about if it's true or it is not. So let us say, there is a group of people, like in India, they have 35 million God. I'm not rejecting them because they are 35 million. I'm rejecting them because the idea they believe in is just stupid. Can't be
that
true.
was their like I joined. Sorry to interrupt you, but I joined a Muslim server. Like that was the first religion I heard of, so I joined a Muslim server, and I said, okay, so monotheism, and they told me that God is God, and if God is all powerful, then how are there three gods? And say like how, and they told me that if God equals God, then Jesus can't go against God, and like the spirit would interfere with God. And like at the time, me not knowing anything about Christianity, like given I knew nothing about Christianity,
How
that made
God,
sense.
listen, Amber, those Muslims are a bunch of dummies. How God will go against God if God is one in Christianity anyway? Because in Christianity, we don't believe in three gods. We believe in one God. Christianity, the Trinity, is a 3% one God, not three gods. So the Messiah said, I and the Father are one. He didn't say, I am God, He is God, the Holy Spirit is God. No. So they are lying, first of all. Secondly, the Messiah always, he said it clearly, that let your will be done. The will of the Son is the will of the Father. He never go against it. In fact, it is in Islam they have contradiction. As an example, Allah in Islam, he says something. Muhammad, he says something else. Which one the Muslim they take? They take what Muhammad said versus what Allah said. But you will not find in Christianity that Jesus said something is against the will of the Father. And you will not find something Jesus did against the will of the Father. In fact, always the whole Bible is so clear that everything the Messiah have done is according to the will of the Father. So Muslims, they lie. This is what the Muslims do. They lie and they hunt for someone who is ignorant, someone who do not know, as you said. But you should search. This is my advice to you. You said now you are 22, right?
Yeah.
I'm 17. So if you are a person who like to be successful in life, you need to search and study whatever people say to you. You don't take things just because somebody say it to you. Study it, search it, check it out, see it's true.
See, but that made no sense to me because they argued with me about like, so if like when they told me that I researched the Trinity and it said three persons in one God, I was like, okay, cool. So Christians study one God also. So I asked them that, and then they came back with, well, when Jesus was praying, when he was about to be crucified, he said, not my will, but yours. And then that kind of stumped me a bit, because if Jesus has his will and God has his will, I got confused at that.
You see, Jesus said, me and the Father is one.
He said, but your will be done. And that
Yes.
confused me.
Why that would confuse you?
Because if Jesus has a will and God has a will, then Jesus is rejecting his own will for God's will.
You see, the Messiah as a person, he's a person. He's a person. So he is the one in the earth. The Father, he sent him. So he have a will and the Father have a will. But the question is the will of the Son is against the will of the Father? No. That's why Jesus said, let your will. The word Father mean what? The word father means authority. That means the son is always obedience to the father. This is what what father mean. So as soon as the Messiah he say father, that means the Messiah is always obedient to the father. You understand? I will not call someone a father unless he have an authority. So Christianity teach that the Messiah is born of the father, not the father is born of the son.
So when Jesus said "not my will," was that his human side? Like,
This is not about the human side. This is about that the son he goes down to earth for a mission. The son he knew what they will do, and the son he always do what the father want. That's why Jesus says in the whole Bible, everything I say to you, everything I do to you, is being told to me and given to me by the Father. So the Messiah, all his mission is about what the Father want. With the separation, there's no separation exists between the will of the Father and the will of the Son. It's always in total agreement. So if Jesus says, let your will be done, he's not saying, I have will different from your will. He's saying the opposite. He's saying, I am in totally agreement in whatever the Father he want to happen.
Okay, that makes sorry.
Like if I'm talking to you, you say you want to go to, now. Do you like to go to the restaurant? I say whatever you want. Does that mean I have different will from your will?
Say that again.
If you say you want to go to this restaurant, or that restaurant, and then I say to you, whatever you like, we go. Does that mean I have different will from yours?
No, it means I decide.
Yeah, this is what Jesus said. Let your will be done. So the will of the Father is what is going to be done anyway, no matter what.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So the Messiah, he knew what they will do to him. They will crucify him. At the end of the day, Father, if you can keep this cup away from me. But the Messiah, he understood that this cup should happen. Let your will be done. So the Son is speaking to the Father. The Son is discussing with the Father. And the Son, he received the answer from the Father. So let your will be done.
So the three persons is then discussing, but the will is God.
You see, the Bible defined even the Messiah himself as the Logos. The Logos is the will of God, the power of God, the ability of God, and that is the Messiah. So it's like, you know, you as a one person, do you think in your head and you have many opinion in the same time in your head?
No, I usually only have one.
Okay, that to make it simple, you said that you felt you are empty and you are looking for a religion.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is many opinion. You have an opinion inside you that you are an atheist. Your mom, your dad told you something. Then other opinion come to your head. And now I'm looking for a religion because I feel empty. So now inside your head, you are thinking about, I'm not sure, there's Islam, there's a Christianity, there's atheism. But all of those are ideas in one head. Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay. Before you reach the point of decision, your will was to look. That was the will.
Wow.
And then you make decision to choose. That is the will too. Right? It's like going shop. When you go shopping, your will to go to the market, to the bazaar, to go to Amazon, that was the will. But then when you go there, there's many options, and then you do choose from those options one of them or two or whatever you have. So you make a decision, and your will is every step of life. And this is what happened with Jesus on earth. He is on earth. There's obstacle in front of him. There's people who don't understand him. There's people, they are, you know, this is why Jesus says, forgive them, Father, they don't know what they are doing. So the Messiah always is in connection with the Father about what should be done and what is the right thing to do it. The Muslim don't understand how that can be. Well, if God is God, there's nothing is impossible for God. So if Jesus can raise people from death, and the Muslim accept that, why Jesus cannot be God and man in the same time? If man cannot raise people from death, then Jesus should not be able to raise people from death. If man cannot control nature, then Jesus should not be able to control nature. Jesus make the blind see. Jesus can tell you what you hide. Jesus can tell you the future. Jesus can heal the leper. I mean, who is this Jesus? Why he can do all those things, but he is just a man for those Muslims? So they cannot explain to us how Jesus can do that except saying that Allah gave him the power. But they can't explain to us why Allah gave him all this power, including to create. I mean, if I want to prove that Jesus is prophet, I do not need to make Jesus make people come from the grave. None of those is needed. One miracle, okay, here we go. I made the blind see. Okay, I healed the leper. But to create creatures from mud, by breathing into them, that means I'm God, I'm creator. To resurrect people from death, that means I'm God. So now, if the Muslims, when they say that Jesus was given the power from Allah, well, that mean Allah, he shared his divine with Jesus. For what Jesus did is only the power of divine. So if Allah, he gave Jesus the power of divine to make us to believe that he is a prophet, he failed. He caused us to believe, yeah, because he caused us to believe that Jesus is God. Correct?
Makes no sense.
Yeah, because if Jesus cannot raise people from death, and Jesus cannot overcome death, and Jesus cannot create, and Jesus cannot heal, no Christian will believe that Jesus is God.
That's it. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So if Allah is the one who gave him this power, well, Allah is the one who made him God then. Because no Christian will believe in Jesus if he cannot do those things.
So if Jesus is not God, but Allah says God gives Jesus God powers, but God is not Jesus, but Jesus has God powers, Jesus can't be God, but God is God and Jesus has God powers. Therefore, a human can't do God things, but Jesus can do God things. Therefore, Jesus is God, but Jesus is a human. Jesus can't be God because Jesus is a human. So God's not Jesus and Jesus is God. It's confusing.
I know, I have a cross eyes now because of your speech. So the Muslims idea of Jesus is very funny and very silly. They can't explain why Jesus can, like, no, there's Zakir Naik, he says, Brother Thitter, in the time of Jesus, there was medical was advanced. In the time of Jesus, medical was advanced? Really? Why? I mean, 2,000 years ago, medicine was advanced, and Muhammad came 600 years after. Medicine was not. So they, as if Jesus was giving medicine. Like somebody told you that Jesus, he gave pills. Hey, take this pill 3 times a day. He dead man. Let me give you this pill. Drink it 3 times a day. You will be fine. Okay, we'll come back to life. Look how stupid they are. They can't explain why Jesus have all those power, and yet Jesus is just a prophet. And they're a prophet. He died. He faint. I call him the fainty prophet. Muhammad, he faint every 5 minutes. Muhammad had diarrhea. Muhammad, he shit in his pants. Muhammad, he cannot go to the bathroom. Muhammad, he is like he is illusional. He imagined things. He in the black magic. Muhammad died by poison. So all those things, horrible things, happened to Muhammad. But Jesus, if he waved his hands, tens of thousands of people they healed from disease. Why? That was an X-ray. They can't explain.
I don't know about the black magic one.
Yeah, he was bewitched. He was bewitched.
What?
He was bewitched. You don't know that?
A prophet, God can't be bewitched. I thought Muhammad was like he had protection of God, and if you have the protection of God,
he was bewitched. Here we go. Like this is Aisha. So you see my screen?
He didn't have protection of God then.
Yeah, he don't even have a protection of Joe Biden. So once the prophet was bewitched, who talking Aisha, the wife, the daughter, the one in the age of his granddaughter. Once the prophet was bewitched, so he began to imagine that he had done a thing which in fact he had not done. So we are talking about Jesus. He made the blind see, And Muhammad is now, his eyes is open, but he see things is not there. Hey, Prophet, what are you doing? Yeah, give me the thing there. Prophet, you know, there's nothing there. What are you, like, hold on, there's a, like, you will fall over the cliff, the Prophet, hold on. No, really? Yeah, the Prophet is bewitched. This is the Prophet, and this is Sahih Bukhari, and this is very authentic. And even the hadith says that the Prophet, when he was bewitched, he started imagining that he is having sexual intercourse with his wives, but in fact he did not. Which means even his sex was false. I wish there is an open, I wish there was an open camera when Muhammad was doing that. That would be fun. I want to see what he was doing. I mean, he's a prophet of God, and now he imagined himself having sex, but in fact he did not.
You know those videos of dogs humping dry air? Imagine it looks a little bit like that.
Dogs doing what?
You know when dogs will like they'll hump dry air, they'll just like do that motion because something triggers their hormones to do that motion. I imagine it looks something like that.
I don't know what is that really. I'm not sure. Dogs? I don't understand you. Sorry. I'm sorry. My English is not so. Sometimes is messed up.
Certain scents will make a dog act like they're mating.
Okay, I see.
So they'll just look like they're mating with the air.
Yeah, this is exactly what happened to. Is this exactly what happened to Muhammad? He is a dog. He imagined himself mating, but in fact, there's no female dog in the front of him. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I never thought about it this way. Thank you. You just give me an idea about the dogs. All right.
Awkward.
So here you see all of those. Like as an example, you see the screen, right?
Yeah.
Well, remember, this was your prophet for 2 days, you know. So the prophet continued for such and such period, imagining that he had boom boom with his wives. In fact, he did not. That is the dog we're talking about.
Lovely, wonderful.
Yeah. All right, my dear sister, I invite you to believe in Jesus, and I hope you will accept and have faith. Otherwise, following this garbage cult is a big mistake. And I am glad you decided to leave it. But now you better read the Bible carefully, and I invite you to believe in the Lord.
I appreciate it. I also appreciate you talking to me for so long, because I imagine other people are waiting.
Yeah, actually, I'm talking to you because I don't see any Muslim coming. Otherwise, if a Muslim came, I will throw you outside immediately, because a Muslim is my customer, you are not.
Like my husband would have done when you wanted a new motto.
Yeah. Well, you know, like, no, I'm glad that you called and you left Islam, you decided to leave Islam. I advise you to sit here and watch us what we do, see how Muslims are being so stupid when they defend Muhammad. And as you see, Muhammad, even his sex is false. I mean, the guy, he don't even have witnesses for sex. Even his wives was not there.
Wow. Okay.
There's no women there. The guy was having sex with who? Hey, Muslims. Muhammad was having sex with who? The goat? It's in front of you. I'm not making things up. In the same way, if Muhammad, he cannot even recognize the difference between what is real and what is not. How we can trust him that this guy is receiving, he's seeing an angel. This guy, he see things. He imagine things. He's delusional. How we can trust him to be a prophet of God?
So, I need a Muslim to come up and defend this.
Yeah, absolutely. I invite all the Muslims to join us. Do we have any Muslim who would like to join us? Because here we go. The lady here, she decided to leave Islam, and I invite you to join us so you can bring her back to Islam, and she will believe in the prophet who imagined himself having sex, but in fact he did not, because this is a good habit, because this way we can reduce the number of babies in the world, because now we imagine we have a woman, but there's no women. This way, there's no sexual disease transmitted between the people, and there's no more babies, and no more global warming, and this is how we can save the world. And now I explain to you why Prophet Muhammad, he imagined himself having sex with a woman who is not there, simply is just to save the world. Thank you very much.
Perfect.
Yeah. Anything else?
I think that's it. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Sit and invite your friends if you want, and if there's a Muslim, we would like to hear him.
I don't think they have the courage. They banned my friend for questioning them, so I don't think the Muslims that I know will be willing.
Well, no, the Muslims are busy now. They are imagining themselves having sex with their wives. In fact, it's not there. So, and this is what they will do in their Discord. They will imagine themselves debating Christian Prince, but he is not there. It's a habit, you know. And this is the only way to win the argument and to win the debate.
But you're right here.
I'm not here. I'm there. Are you there or here?
I'm both.
Oh, okay. No, it's because in English you speak to somebody. He says, "Are you there?" You say to him,
Well,
"No." I say, "I'm here." Are you there or?
In English and in French, so I'm here, meaning I'm here presently, like I'm talking to you, I'm here talking to you. But also I'm there on the call, like I'm there with you on the call. So it can mean both. Like I am both there with you on the call and I'm here.
I think based on what you just said to me, you qualified to become a Muslim prophet. You are here and there in the same time.
Perfect.
Yeah, you know, yeah. I think you are being bewitched now. May Allah bless you. Hey Sarah, how you doing? We have Sarah. We have Abu. Abu, he came first. Abu, you are a Muslim?
No, I'm not. I'm not. CP. I'm one of the mod. I just wanted to introduce Alisa. She lives in a dangerous country, so we want to protect her. But she has questions for you.
I see a name. It's called Sarah.
Yes.
Is that her?
She's now going with Alisa. Yes.
Alisa, all right.
Yeah. So she has, if you don't mind, I'll ask the questions on her behalf, and maybe if she wants to respond. She was asking about the stone that is floating in the sky when Muslims pray, and also the stones that people throw in Mecca.
The stone floating in the sky? What do you mean?
Apparently, there are Muslims that say that. Let me see. There's a stone in the sky that when Muslims pray, like a Kaaba in the sky.
Al-Bayt al-Ma'mur. Yeah, Al-Bayt al-Ma'mur. Okay. All right. What about it?
So I myself have never heard of this, and she was asking if you can explain that a little bit.
Yeah, it's just a stupid idea that there is a house, Allah, he have a Kaaba in the heaven, and this Kaaba, there is 70,000 angels. They go inside it and leave. They never leave from it, you know, every day. So you will see here, they will go to the Bayt al-Ma'mur. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
All right. So this is now Muhammad. He entered to that area, and he saw 4 rivers coming from that house underneath of it, under the lotus tree. There's a tree which is you can walk underneath of it for a distance of 100 years journey. And this tree have leaves. They look like elephant ears, or very huge, but they are made of gold. So Muhammad described it, and then he says, 2 river and 2 hidden river. I say, Jibril, what are these rivers? He said, 2 hidden rivers are the rivers of paradise. And as regard the 2 manifest ones are the Nile and Euphrates. Then the Bayt al-Ma'mur, this is the house you are talking about, which means the build house, was raised up to me, like appeared. And I said, "O Gabriel, what is this?" He replied, "This is Bayt al-Ma'mur. 70,000 angels enter it daily. After they come out, they never come again." So those angels, they come, they go from there, they go inside this house, they never come back again. Where they go, we do not know. So this is what she is talking about.
Wow, I have never heard of it.
Yeah.
And
okay.
The other thing is the stone that people throw at this tower. I think it's called Arafat Tower in Makkah.
Yeah, this is the house of Shaitan.
Right.
Yeah, it's just a pagan religion. People used to practice it before Islam, And this stone is like the shaitan now is became more high tech, so he abrogated his house. Let me search for some pictures.
And this Bait al-Mamur is in Surah At-Tur, Ayah 4. Is that true? In Quran?
In Surah what?
She wrote At-Tur.
At-Tur, Surah At-Tur.
Yeah.
Well, you see, the Muslims themselves do not know what is the Bayt al-Ma'mur is about. So everyone, he give you his idea and give you his reasoning. And the Quran doesn't really give us a clear idea what this is about. But let me show you first. We mentioned the Arafah you mentioned, and we go back to this thing. I'm just trying to find the pictures to show you how they change it. All right, where is the pictures? All right, we found some pictures, but I'm trying to find an old pictures just to show you how Muslims, they abrogate their God and their religion. Okay, here we go. You see my screen?
Yes.
So this is the house of Shaitan, the way it used to be about 100 years ago. Do you see it?
Yes.
Small, tiny, not long time ago, this is what it was. People, they come and they throw a bunch of rocks, and this is how they hurt the feeling of Shaitan. Now, the oil came, and Saudi Arabia became rich, and they are making a lot of money from Hajj. So now the house of Shaitan cannot fit for all those millions are coming. So now we abrogate, and this is what we have today. It's looked like a sheep of Noah, the shape of Noah. What is this? The Muslims' house of Shaitan get abrogated, and this is not only that. This is many floors underground. By the way, you might see it this way. It looked like, I don't know, it looked like a ship really, but there's many floors. Let us see if we can show you more pictures. Here we go. This is the third floor, I think. This is the first floor, maybe. Yeah. So now they have many floors. And the small, tiny column made of rocks now became concrete. There's many of them. There's one here, one there, one there. There's the floors. People, they go like, choose which one you want to throw the rocks. And here, this is the second floor. I mean, that's amazing, beautiful, brother. What is this? Most Muslims, what is this? What is this, man? So even their religion is impacted by the money. And they abrogate. Look, all those Muslims, they want to throw rocks at the Shaitan. The Shaitan, he's there.
This is kind of stupid. Yeah, they build the house of Satan, basically.
Yeah, but imagine, I mean, how stupid Shaitan to be staying there. And now the small, tiny little column made of rocks became this massive building. Look at this. So the people, they throw rocks. And then the rocks, they go down, and then there is like go all the way to the basement, and there's a trucks. They take the rocks again, and they place them in the same place in the top, so people, they grab them and throw them again. And this is stupidity.
It's very, yeah.
And this is how the house of Shaitan was used to be in the old days. Look how it is. So from this tiny, ugly stuff to concrete, elevators, oil make a lot of different. Anything else? Now you said to me, Al-Bayt al-Ma'mur.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, she wanted to share with Christians and Muslims about this because most people don't know about Bayt al-Ma'mur.
Yeah, so Al-Bayt al-Ma'mur, as you see, the Quran did not mention much about it. It just say the build house, which is that nobody knows really. And then all the fiction stories, As you see here, they are adding the house over the heaven parable to Kaaba at Mecca, continuously visited by angels. But nobody can explain to us why even angels are visiting it. What is that for? Even angels, they have rituals to visit Kaaba there. Why Allah have two houses? You know, one house is not enough. What is that for? So it's just a stupid idea, you know.
But they're very obsessed about stones and physical.
No, you see, the more I add mystery to a religion, the more I make people afraid and they have fear, you see. So now if I say to you, there's things, 70,000 angels go inside this room and they don't come back again, and you're like, you know, I give you a lot of ideas, a lot of images, then you will feel you are too much intimidated by this God who, look, even he have Kaaba there and the angels are subdued and there's 70,000 every day. Now, if we think about the number, you will see how stupid Muhammad is, because let us do a little calculation. If 70,000, they come to visit this house every day and they never come back. Muhammad exists for 1400 years ago. And I assume that this exists even before Adam. So if we go and say, let us say 8,000 years. So let us say 70,000 angel a day. Or let us do that first. I don't know if any one of you is good in mathematics. I'm not good in mathematics. So if we say 7,000 years, x 360 days, that will make it what?
Close to 200 billion.
200 billion, 250,
yeah.
250 and 20, something like that, right? So,
right.
And then we go and we x that to 70, correct? 70,000. I mean, look at the number. I mean, all of those are angels in heaven doing this. What they are doing there? I mean, the heaven turned to be very busy. I assume that there's a problem for housing in heaven. Are they renting? Anyway, stupid religion. Anything else?
Well, Alisa, do you have any other questions? I'm just the mediator.
Yes, hi, Steve.
How are you, Alisa? How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
Why you are doing fine? What's wrong?
What?
Why you are doing fine? What's wrong? I don't like to see people. I don't like to see people doing fine. I'm a Muslim. It makes me upset to see people doing fine. I'm angry.
Really?
Yeah. So, what do you want to say to us?
I want to ask. I want to first thank
I not hear you. What?
Laila for the help. I just want to first thank Laila for the help.
Okay.
I want to thank you also for the hard work. I was asking because there are some Muslims who are saying, other Muslims who are saying that they're in jail, that Christians don't have it in jail. But in the Quran, it says that to believe in the Gospel and the Torah. So I wonder which Injil are they talking about? I mean, whether was it any other Injil, or why do they say that?
Well, you know, Muhammad is just a stupid person, because if he have little intelligence, he will not use the word Injil. The word Injil is a Greek word. And imagine my book is in Arabic and the name of the book is in German. That doesn't make sense, because the name of the book is to explain the book, right? So if I say Quran, Quran means reading, which does not explain the Quran really, because Quran supposedly came to Muhammad as a recitation. So Quran is a wrong name for the wrong book. However, Injil It's a word meaning the good news, which is the Greek word. So now, when Muhammad he chosen this word to give the name of the book, that means the book itself must be in Greek. It cannot be any other. So what Muhammad is talking about, obviously, he took the Gospel of John, and he considered that book is the book Jesus he gave. This is why he is using the Greek word for it. And by doing that, that is a contradiction for Muhammad in the Quran. Why? Because in the Quran, Muhammad he said, we never send the messenger except in the tongue of his own people. And if Jesus is sent to the Jews, then the book have to be in Hebrew. Should not be in any other language if Jesus was sent only for the Jews. And then we sent not a messenger, and this is chapter 14, verse 4, except with the language of his people, in order to make the message clear for them. That makes sense. Finding the Quran making sense. But look what happened here. The Quran itself debunked the Quran. The Quran itself saying that the message will never be clear unless it is in the language of the people. So how a Muslim, I don't know which country you're from, but how Muslims who are from Pakistan, from India, from Honolulu, from Lulu, how they will understand the stupid Quran if the Quran itself saying the reason we give it to you in the language of the own people so they can understand, which means the message will not be fit for the nation unless the message in their tongue. So how Muhammad can be a messenger for all mankind if the Quran in Arabic? And remember, Muhammad he claimed that he asked Allah to give him 7 Quran in 7 reading. Why? Because his people are not capable of doing it, which means understanding the religion. So if the small tiny village of Mecca need 7 Quran in 7 dialect in order to understand the Quran, so how the Quran can be clear for country like India have more than 400 languages? See? So the Quran and Islam debunk Islam. Islam is a stupid cult. All what happened here, Muhammad cannot recite the verse twice correctly, which means I say something today, tomorrow I try to recite the same verse, I add words, I take words. So the people, they notice that this is not what he said yesterday. So now Muhammad, he want to cover his lies. So he claimed, this is why the Muslims, when they fought about it, they fought about this issue. 2 Muslims, they were reciting the Quran. He said to him, the Prophet did not say it this way. The other guy said, no, he said it that way. They fight, and then they went to Muhammad, and Muhammad, he said to the first one, tell me how you say it. And the guy, he said, and he's asked the other guy, okay, tell me how you heard it. He told him, both of you are right. Don't you know that I ask Allah to give me the Quran in 7 ways? And this is telling us that the Muslim, they never heard this before. Until Muhammad, he mentioned, until this fight happened. And now Muhammad trying to cover up why he is reciting the same verse in different ways and different words. Simply he claimed that he asked Allah to give him the Quran in 7 ways because his people are not capable of doing it. And if the Arab are not capable of doing that in one Arabic language, how an Indian can do that like Zakir Naik? Here you see the story. Do you see the story on the screen?
Yes.
I heard Hashim bin Hakim, blah, 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 reciting Surah Al-Furqan in a way different than of mine. Allah Messenger had taught me in different way. So I was about to quarrel with him during the prayer. But I waited until he finished, and then I tied his garment around his neck and seized him by it and brought him to Allah Messenger. And I said, I have heard him reciting Surah Al-Furqan in a way different from the way you taught me. The Prophet, he ordered me to release him and asked me to recite it. When I recited Allah Prophet, he said, okay, it's revealed this way. Then he asked me to recite it. He recited, he said, okay, it's revealed this way. So now there's two guys are fighting about what? About they are reciting Quran, supposedly the same chapter, but there's totally different words. Muhammad, he said to the first one, oh, this is correct. The other one, he recited in the other way. He said to him, this is correct too. They look at him, they said, what? He said, it was revealed in this way. The Quran has been revealed in 7 different ways. So recite it in the way that is easier for you. And here you notice that if the Muslim, they heard this before, they will not fight, correct? The guy, he thought this guy is fabricating Quran. This is why he grabbed him from his garment and brought him to Muhammad. But it turned to be, obviously, Muhammad never mentioned that to them. Never mentioned it. And remember, this is a small, tiny community, and the believers is like 50, 60. So how come Muhammad forgot to tell them such an important thing that Allah gave him the Quran in 7 different ways? Now, because Muhammad trying to cover his stupid mistakes, why he is saying the same chapter in totally different. Well, Allah gave it to me in 7 ways. So all of these stories prove to us that Muhammad is a fraud. Did God give Moses the Torah in 7 ways? The Muslim, they say, Moses is a Muslim. Okay. Do Allah give Moses the Torah in 7 different ways? The Muslim, they say, Isa is a Muslim. Wonderful. Did Allah give Isa the Injil in 7 different ways? Right? Yeah, it's just a stupid religion. Anything else?
Yeah, I heard also there are some people are saying that Islam will take over the world. Is that true?
Well, I don't know. If you go in my page on YouTube, there's a hadith of Muhammad and Sahih Muslim and even Al-Bukhari. He said that Islam will go back like a snake going back to its hole. So even Muhammad, he predicted that Islam is dying. Same time, we have the Muslim sheikhs themselves, like Mufti Menk, saying it clearly that Islam is dying. And as you see, if you check around, which Muslim country are following Islam? Remember, in Islam, music is haram. TV is haram. Art is haram. Everything the Muslim they do today is the way to go to hell. So who is a Muslim in Islam? Nobody. Islam is not just a religion. Islam is a political government. So if there is no Islamic Sharia law government, there is no religion. It's not like Christianity. Christianity, its faith, have nothing to do with the king. The king is a Christian or not, Christianity exists. Islam, no. If there's no king, he's a Muslim, no caliphate, there's no Islam. The Muslim, they divide the world to 3 parts. The land of peace, that is Islam, because Muslim will not kill Muslims supposedly, which is not even that they don't do. They kill each other. Like if you check now, every war in the world almost, it's involved Muslims. And then, the world of peace, which is under the control of Muslims, which practice Islamic law. If they don't practice Islamic law, this is not the land of peace. That will make it the land of fitna, which means the land of a trouble. And then the land which is not controlled by Muslims, that is the land of the kuffar, which means the land of war. So land of peace, land of fitna, land of trouble, and land of war. If we check right now, which one is the land of fitna, we will find all Muslim countries are not practicing Islam. Even Taliban, they don't. So that means all Muslim countries are land of fitnas, which means shaitan is taken over. And the rest are the land of the kuffar, land of war, which means whatever is left is against Islam. So what is left? So if I ask Muslim now, which Islamic country is not the land of fitna? None. Dubai? Saudi Arabia? Nobody follows Islam no more.
There are even scholars don't agree with each other. I mean,
What scholars? What scholars?
said there are many scholars, I mean, there are scholars also who don't agree with each other when it's come to this.
Yeah, that's very
Because
normal. Because if Muhammad himself don't agree with Muhammad, Muhammad himself don't agree with Muhammad. As you see, Muhammad, he recite a verse one day, he say the opposite second day. Like if you go, if scholars they do that, this is nothing. But the idiot Muhammad himself, he don't agree with Muhammad. As an example, if you go in the Quran, chapter 2, verse 106, Muhammad, he says something after noon. He changed his mind in the morning. And we are not talking about say something like eat falafel. We are talking about Quran. If you go and read the interpretation, this is chapter 2, verse 106. You will see the drama. Muhammad don't agree. Allah don't agree with Allah. So Allah, he make a verse, let us say 4 p.m. today. He wake up in the morning, he make a new verse, canceling the verse he made yesterday. So read what it says. This is Tafsir Ibn Abbas. So the people of Quraysh, they said, look at Muhammad. He command something and he forbid it. If we change the interpretation to something newer, let us say, hold on. Let us go, because they have limited English interpretation. This is Al-Jalalain. It says, the disbeliever began to dread the matter of abrogation, saying, one day Muhammad, he enjoins his companion one thing, and then the next day he forbid it. So if the scholars disagree, I mean, this guy is mentally ill. You just made a law yesterday. Yesterday, not last year. Not last. You see, we are talking about a guy. He gave them a command from God, Allah from God. He go to sleep, he piss, he sleep as usual. He wake up, he have a new law, canceling the law was yesterday. I mean, what happened overnight? So when you say the scholars don't agree with each other, I mean, well, this is not a big deal. I mean, Muhammad himself, Allah himself, he disagree with Allah. He make Allah today because this is a clear sign that Allah is confused. This is God, supposedly. But obviously, it's Muhammad. He fabricate things. So he claim Allah gave him a verse. He say it. Second day, people start complaining about what he said. It's stupid. It's blah, blah, so blah, 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 blah. So now his religion is flexible, you know. So he changed it. He canceled what he said yesterday. He make a new verse. There's no way this is from God. This is an idiot, you know, a scam. We have a guy in the chat. His name is Uthman ibn Farouk. My friend, as long your name is Uthman, and you are the son of Farouk, I invite you and Farouk, to join us. Do you dare? Farouk boy? Why you don't come and scare us? He is not Muslim? Oh, okay. Friendly fire? He's a Muslim or not? Why he call himself? He's not a Muslim? Ah, he's a troll? A troll is a Muslim. Every Muslim is a troll, and every troll is a Muslim. Prove me wrong. Go ahead, Sarah. Or sorry, Alisa.
What I can understand, it is because Quran don't say.
Can you speak louder? Can you speak louder, please? I'm a very old man. I cannot hear you.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know how old I am? My mom is 17. My mom is 17, and what happened to me now is like what happened to Joe Biden. What is? My mom is 17, and I'm Joe Biden, and you know the thing. All right, what do you want to say?
Yeah, I wanted to say, example, Quran don't say.
I cannot hear you. Speak louder, please.
Sorry. I said, do you hear me now?
Okay, I hear you now.
Yeah. I said the Quran example don't say. I don't know why. I mean, Muslims are reading the tafsir to understand the Quran. Because Quran, it is nowhere in the Quran that says or read the tafsir to understand the Quran or hadith is also not in the Quran. So I am wondering where did this hadith came from? I mean, the tafsir came from to read it to understand the Quran. Because
Well,
Quran don't say.
yeah, this is not an issue because as any belief in the world, there is people who they are not educated, and there is people who supposedly claim to be educated or they are truly educated. So the one who is educated, let's say he's a professional, he make books in order to explain to the one who is not educated. This is not an issue. The issue is that why the Muslims don't agree with anything about their religion. As an example, all those who make videos in YouTube, like Mimi Hijab. Mimi Hijab, he have a channel just to curse Muslims who they are making da'wah in England. Just to insult them, they are stupid, they are donkeys, they are etc. And the Muslim, they are doing the same to him. But all of them, they are Muslim Sunni. So what is the problem? The problem is that because the Quran is so stupid, that stupidity will have a huge impact on the followers to the point they agree about nothing. Like when Mimi Hijab, he invited this guy Yasser Qadhi, and he asked him about if the Quran, if the Quran is preserved. Why for him the Quran is preserved, but for his sheikh the Quran is not? How come they cannot come in agreement about something should be already approved, yes or no, after all those centuries? So the Muslims, this is one of the unique things about Islam. It's religion based on killing each other, not about being united. As soon as Muhammad he died, the Muslim, they start slaughtering each other to the point they slaughter even his family. Every single member of his family was killed by Muslims. The Caliphate Uthman, they took the hair of his beard one by one. This is the Caliphate, the one who collect the Quran. All the Caliphate being slaughtered, kidnapped, torture, etc. Who is the one who did that? The Muslims. Aisha herself, she took an army of 10,000 men to kill Ali. So this is telling you that the disagreement have nothing to do with just Muslim today. This is Islam from the beginning. The gang leader died, and then the fight over the cake is started. Islam is not a religion. Islam is a gang, and it's a competition. So now, when this guy Mimi Hijab insult the other Muslims who they are doing dawah, he's not really insulting them only because he don't agree with them, but he feel he is being threatened as a competition. They are fighting over donation. Who wanna give donation to who? Who can convince the crowd that he is the one who is telling the truth, so more people will join me? So they insult each other non-stop. I mean, this guy, he have thousands of videos just to make fun of Muslims. None of them is about Christianity. I forgot the name of the channel. We can play it so people can laugh. So
what I was trying to say, Quran says that it is complete, that Quran is complete and fully detailed. So
complete.
that's what I don't understand, why they read the tafsir to understand the Quran.
Well, no. You see, the Quran is just, as I said, the Quran is just a book of contradiction. As an example, the Quran says clearly that this is a book we explain it very well. So based on the Quran, there is no need for interpretation because Allah himself, he explained the Quran. So why we need to explain the Quran when the Quran says we explain the Quran? You see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Chapter 6, verse number 55. As an example, this is not the only one, there's many of them. And this is how we explain our ayat. Okay, so now the Quran is explained. So why we need to explain the explanation? because obviously the Quran failed to explain anything. And that is additional proof that the Quran is not a book of God, because if I am God and I say I explain it, and Muhammad, remember, he received the Quran in 7 ways so it can be easy, right? So after 7 ways, still the Muslims need more explanation. So which means the Quran is explained in 7 times. Still the Muslims disagree about the explanation of the Quran made by Allah. So how they will agree with the explanation done by their scholars?
Yes.
All right. You are an ex-Muslim now, Alisa?
That we will tell you in private.
All right, no problem. Okay, no problem. All right. Anything else?
Yes, I wanted to ask about the. Have you heard about
About
a
what?
man? Have you heard about in the Hadith a man killed 99 people and Allah forgave him at the end?
The guy who killed 99 people. Okay.
Have you heard that?
Yeah, sure. What about it?
I was wondering, because in the Quran, Allah says injustice, but at the same time, it says that this person, I mean, he is all forgiving. But this person who killed 99 people, who Allah forgave, so I'm wondering, what about the people who got killed? How will they get justice?
Well, this is a very stupid story, and I will tell you the reason for that. Because if I say to a person, okay, you know what, there's a person, he killed 1, Allah forgive him. He killed 5, Allah forgive him. He killed 10, he killed 20, he killed 50, he killed 60, he killed 70. He killed 99. What I am saying to people, that you can go and kill as many as you wish, and when one day you decide, you can repent and your sin is forgiven. So I'm encouraging killing. Right? So here the story, and this is a story you are talking about, can be found in all those hadith we see on the screen, is just a stupid story. I am not against believing that God have a mercy, he forgive us, and otherwise we don't deserve to go to heaven anyway, because we have, we have a lot of sin. But here the story is different, because I am telling people that don't worry if you kill 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 50, 90, 99, 100. In fact, there's no limit. Still Allah, he will forgive you. So now, what is the purpose then of anything called morality in Islam if all what you need to do is to repent? And I'm saying to you, no limit of how many people you can kill. Right? Yeah. So you see the logic of mercy, that you are merciful too. That's why when the Lord, they ask him how to pray, they said, you pray like this, our Father out of heaven, and then it says, forgive to us as we forgive to others. So because we trespass against others, people trespass against us, we forgive to others, forgive to us as we forgive to them. So now the forgiveness in Christianity, it should be first a forgiveness of the person, the victim, before forgiveness of God. And before you ask for forgiveness, even if you are a victim, you should ask God, before you ask God to be forgiven, you forgive those who hurt you. God will do justice anyway, with you or with them. Justice will be done. And the mercy of God will not involve ruin justice. Here, the guy he go kill, we are creating a society of monsters. The guy, now any guy who is a criminal, he say, you see what? I have long way to go. I did not even kill 10. Let me continue. I will repent before I die. The second I feel I'm dying, I will put my finger up to Allah and say Shahada. So what we are doing, we are encouraging killing and you know, disaster in this earth. Yeah, yeah. And then actually, and then the guy he went to heaven, you know. So a crazy, stupid religion. But Muhammad here is trying to be wise, supposedly, and supposedly the purpose of it is encouraging people to ask for repentance. But he ruined the story. Like if he say he commits sin, but now he is making it about killing, you know, destroying the life. So this guy, he destroyed the life of 100 family. You know, there's maybe 1,000 orphan behind. Yet he is going to go to heaven. Why? He repent. You know. However, Muhammad, he have bigger stupid stories than this. At least here he repent, right? But if you go to the hadith where it's speaking, let us see. I'm trying to remember the whole words of the hadith so I can find it. So like the guy, you say Bismillah wa bihamdihi 100 times. Okay. Bismillah wa bihamdihi 100 times. Then, even if you have the sin more than the foam of the ocean, your sin will be forgiven. So what kind of religion this religion is? Even if I have sin more than the foam of the ocean, my sin is forgiven. Just say Bismillah wa bihamdihi 100 times. That's it. I do not even repent. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I did not even repent. I just said Bismillah wa bihamdihi 100 times, and my sin is going to be wiped out, even if it's more than the foam of the ocean. How that is godly. Yeah. 100 times a day will have his sin forgiven, even if it is like the foam of the sea. See it? So why anyone want to be good anyway? I go fornicate, kill, steal, rape, you know, scam, do whatever you want. Just say Bismillah wa bihamdi 100 times before I go to sleep. And second day I start my crimes ring again. He's not encouraging people to be decent. He is satanic, encouraging people to be filthy. For the fruit. Yeah, go ahead.
It's like whatever. It's a very strange thing that I can do whatever I want, and the evil thing. Then after that, if I say God forgive me and Allah forgive me, then He will forgive. I think this is. I mean, there are many people, example, men who go, example, rape women, who rape children and all that. Then after that, they say, oh, Allah, God forgive me, then God forgive. This is like, for me, something very strange.
You see, the idea of forgiveness is to give a chance for people. So the earth will not be a chaos, you know, because if we know that we will not be forgiven, we will do more sin. So hope. Yeah, hope is a good thing, but here the guy is not even repenting. He just say 100%, 100 time in the name of Allah. He did not repent. He's doing it. He will do it more. So what the purpose of Islam then? Is just to teach me to say 100 times the name of Allah, and that's it. Everything is good to go. So imagine I say the name of Jesus 100 times, and then I'm going to go to heaven. And the funny is, the Muslim, they lie and they say it's the Christian, they believe that Jesus died for their sin. They can go fornicate, they can go kill, they can go rape, they can do. This is absolutely false. Jesus make it so clear. Not everyone says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of my Father, but the one who does his will. It is them. By saying Shahada, according even to Muhammad, if you say Shahada alone, is enough to go to heaven. There's a video of Zakir Naik speak about the 100 bill. I don't know if you watch it. So he said there is a like when you say shahada, you have 100 bill, like dollar, and there is other things like salah, $5, zakat, $5. So he says by just saying shahada, you are safe. That's it. You know, the rest is small. It's not about how many bills you have. It's about the value. So saying shahada, that there is no God but Allah and Muhammad is his false prophet, that alone is 100 bill. The rest is going to be make like 60. So he made him like 160. I have the video. I can play it. Very stupid guy. Very silly guy. Let me see. I have the video. Yeah. I will play it after you finish so people can laugh. Anything else?
Thank you so much. That's nothing else.
You're welcome. God bless you, sister. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Shihab.
You're welcome. So this is Zakir Naik explain to you how Muslims go to heaven. Lying, saying that we Christians, we go to heaven because we believe just in Jesus die for us. And we can do sin as much as we want. That's what he said.
Why non-Muslims who do righteous deed will be put into hellfire? And Muslims who are unrighteous, why should they be put in heaven? We have to understand that what is the meaning of the word righteousness? And what is the meaning of the word that who is a righteous person? For me, to make you understand, I'll give you a few examples. Number one, if there are total $199 US divided into 64 notes. The 64 notes, if you total all the value of these 64 notes, it is $199. And I distribute the notes to few people. Some get 10 notes, some get 20 notes, some get 30 notes, some get less, some get more. A normal person who may not be aware of the notes and the value will say whoever gets the most notes, number of notes, is the richest person. No, it's not like that. You have to see what is the value of each note. In these 64 notes, one note is of $100. One note is of $20. The $100 notes is for a person who believes that there is only one God and that God has got no partners and Prophet Muhammad is the messenger.
That's it.
Of that Almighty. The number $20 bill, US dollar, is a person who prays 5 times a day. Then there's one $10 note, there is two $5 note. $10 note is for a person who gives zakat, who gives charity. $5 note is a person who fasts, and $5 note is a person who goes for Hajj. The remaining, all if you put together, is $140. The remaining $59 are $1 bill. All put together are 65 notes. So 59 notes are of $1. So just because somebody has 30 notes or 30 bills doesn't make him rich. If he has 30 bills of $1, he has only a value of $30. The person who has $100 is more richer than all the other notes put together. If all the other 63 notes put together will make it only $99, but one bill of $100 is more valuable than 63 bills all put together are $99. That's the reason the person who is the creator, he has put this formula. And he clearly mentioned in the Quran, in Surah Nisa, chapter number 4, verse number 40.
So if you say Shahada, you have $100 bill. That's it. You are going to heaven. You pass the 50%. Did you hear it? It is them who believe that you do not need to follow God. You just say Shahada. You say Shahada, this is $100 bill. Prayer, who cares? $20, nothing, not a big deal. $20. Will not make a big difference. Pay in charity, $5. You say the Shahada only, it's 100, you pass. You see the evil religion? They claim about good deed, and he is explaining now the righteousness. So righteousness in Islam is not to be a righteous, it's about saying Muhammad is a prophet. He said that to you, it's in front of you. Who is a righteous? Is the one who say the Shahada, is not the one who do righteousness.
And Surah Nisa chapter number 4, verse 116, that Allah will forgive any shirk, Allah will forgive any sin if He pleases, but He will never forgive the sin of shirk. For anyone who has committed shirk has strayed far away, has done the most heinous sin. That means the biggest sin in Islam, according to our Creator, Almighty God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is doing shirk, is associating partners with Him. It's the biggest sin. And the best thing person can do is tawheed. Believe in only one God. And believe that there is no one worthy of worship but Almighty God. And Prophet Muhammad is the messenger of Almighty God.
You have to put Muhammad in the middle.
Creator. He sets the rule.
You see, this is why they are pagan. It's not like saying you have to believe in Allah. No, no, no. You have to believe in Allah and Muhammad. If you don't do that, you're not saved. So Muhammad is more important than Allah. You see, the liar, they say they believe in Tawheed. So why you are associating the religion and the belief and the faith and the salvation with Muhammad? Shouldn't be the purpose of Muhammad that people worship Allah and that's it? Obviously it's not. You have to say the name of Muhammad with the name of Allah, and that will give you the 100 bill.
We are the people who are undergoing an examination. Let me give one more example. That in certain tests, there are certain compulsory questions which you should pass separately. Like I did a medical examination. In MBBS, besides the theory paper, we had viva voce, orals. Every student had to pass separately in viva voce. Separately.
Sometimes I don't know what he's saying. Brother and sister, first of all, Christian Prince are lying to you. We Muslims, we don't believe in dollar. And then you take the example of dollar because I don't like dollar. And however, brother, I just told you that if you say Shahada is equal to $100. Don't forget to send that $1 donation. What? If you send that $100 donation, Allah will forgive your sin. $100? I mean, even the example about your God involved with dollars. Any Abdul? We don't have Abdul today, not even one. We have only ex-Muslims. Do we have more ex-Muslims? No more ex-Muslims? Well, according to Islam, I was born as a Muslim. And there is some truth in that. My mom, she told me I used to do poo-poo when I was a kid. In the pant. I can't believe it. Obviously, I was a very much Muslim. Extremist Muslim. I mean, who is the one who's going to make poo-poo in his pant unless he is a Muslim? Who can defeat that? Everyone is born as a Muslim, huh? True story. Mayday, any Muhammadan. Any Muhammadan have $100 bill. He is saved by Allah just for saying Shahada. $100 bill, that's it. You say Shahada, you are saved, brother. True story. So why you need to do Hajj, and why you need to give donation to Zakir Naik, and why you have to pray 5 times? You just say Shahada. In fact, just to show you how stupid Islam is. According to Muhammad, there is one night in Islam. If you pray, is better than 1,000 months. It's better what? Better than 1,000 months of a prayer. 1,000 months is what? 73 years. Correct? So imagine Muhammad is just fabricating, trying to make a point, which is very silly in Arabic. إِنَّا أَنزَلْنَاهُ فِي لَيْلَةِ الْقَدْرِ وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ خَيْرٌ مِنْ أَلْفِ شَهْرٍ, blah, blah, blah. So he have to add R at the end. And now, because of that, he made a poo-poo. He just said that one night you pray is better than 1,000 nights of a prayer. Actually, it's 83 years, sorry. 83 years and 4 months. Do you see it? So you pray one night. Okay, who is going to, why you want to pray? I mean, how long will you live? Many people don't reach that age. Maybe there's some people they live, maybe 100. But if one night you prayed is better than 83 and 4 months of a praying 5 times a day. So if I pray 2 years, which means this night this year and the same night next year, I pass hundreds of years of a prayer. Why I need to pray 5 times? Do you see the stupidity? However, just to let you know, Muhammad, he forgot when is the night of Al-Qadr is. The Muslim, they translate it as the night of power. Sound like 6. Hey Muslims, how come Muhammad, he forgot which night it is? How now you will know which night it is? Huh? You forgot. There's a story, Muhammad, he woke up, he was asleep. He woke up and he came out of his house and he started running. You okay? All right. What happened? He remembered when the night of Qadr is. Allah just showed it to him. Wonderful. He started running to the Muslims to tell them the time of night al-Qadr. And when he arrived, he said, Prophet, why you are running? What's happened? Okay, I saw a dream. And I will tell you when the night of Al-Qadr. I just remembered. He said, okay, Prophet, tell us. He said, okay, I forgot. What? Abdul. So all this drama is to tell them that you forgot again? I thought we have only one Joe Biden. Muslims, is that a true story? Allah, he just told him he reminded him where the night is. And now Muhammad, he ran to tell you. And he forgot again. All those references, look at this madness. According to the story, there's 2 men, they were fighting, and that made Muhammad forget when. I mean, how in the world that makes sense? If Muhammad remember it was, let us say, the 7th night of the month. I remember that. I go outside, I saw 2 men fighting, and now I forgot again? Any Abdul? Potato. The prophet of potato. Joe bite me. He forgot. If Joe Biden is in the White House, so who is in the trash can? That is the question. Any Abdul? All right, guys, I'm not going to keep it longer. We are happy we have some ex-Muslims that join us today. I hope they learn good. And always be careful. Muslims, they try to fool you. I don't blame nobody if somebody fool you. Remember, if a foolish like Muhammad, as you see, the guy don't even remember his name. If a fool like Muhammad can fool you, well, how stupid are you? You have to be literally decide to be stupid, literally, to believe in such an idiot. Right? Last call before we go. Any Muslim? My voice is tired, Muslims. So now you can take advantage of me. I cannot even scream. Any Muslim? Last call. Mayday, mayday. Any Abdul want to take advantage of me? I'm weak now. I do not have my lunch yet. Anyone? Take it or leave it. No? Potatoes. I mean, how I can tempt you to come and fight with me? There's a hand up. I don't see any hand. What hand? Where's the hand up? Where's the hands up? Why you guys, you see what I don't see? Are you Allah? That's weird. Something fishy, guys, about you. Do you have the eyes of Jibreel? So I see not what you see? Do you remember what Allah He says to the angels? I know not what you know. He was calling me a liar. Who? Put your hand up. Who's he? His name is Jack. Because you say to me he has hand up. I don't see anyone hand up. There's a place you see the hands. Where do you see the hands? Is it like in the side you see? I don't see anything. Put your hand in the chat. Put it up again. I will invite you. I don't even see their names, so I can invite them from my side. Are they texting? I don't see their text. Usually when you call their names, they act like dead. You know, they stop moving. Like after I leave, all of them, they are heroes. Christian Prince, like there's a guy, his name is Sincere Muslim. He come and he make comment. I offer Christian Prince many times at debate, but the coward, he keep running away from me. Every video I make, he posts there. I offer the coward Christian Prince, but he never agreed to debate with me. What we can say? Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, Muslims have no balls. That's why I decided to donate some of my balls to Allah. I'm not using them anyway. You know, too much balls will kill you. In the Middle East, balls are called bozaline. Everything is upside down there. If you are a Muslim and you are out of balls, I can give you one. Okay, two. I mean, three, you cannot handle it. They are heavier than you. Trust me. Any Muhammadan? Last call. Huh? You don't want to play with me basketballs? Even that is not there? Well, they have no balls and they cannot play basketballs. And Allah knows best. All right, guys. God bless. God is good. So is Jesus. And always we are victorious. Happy to hear more Muslims leaving Islam. We spoke to many of them today. It was a blessing to spend some time with you. It is a blessing to share the truth, and the truth will set you free. And remember always, blame nobody for doing a foolish act you did. Blame yourself for believing in foolishness. And the wise Lord is the only one who can provide you with wisdom. Stay with him or you are lost. So we pray that the Lord, he will give you the wisdom. He will make you speak wise with your family, with your children, so they will love you. Because people who speak foolishness, they bring anger, and bad anger, not the good ones, especially in their families. So be wise, be smart. Wisdom is love. Wisdom is about giving. Wisdom is about protecting. Wisdom is about being you as a parent or a son or a daughter, being loyal, being faithful. The wise person don't betray. The wise person don't betray the ones he loves. The second you betray the one you love, you lost them forever. So be wise. And the most important wisdom is to be loyal to our Lord. You betray him, you deny him, he will deny you. God is good. So is Jesus. I mean to that. And see you soon.